Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar as shadows creep. He slams the door on tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand with courage born of darkest night. He ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello, everybody. How you all doing? Right, so let's get into this straight away. Hi, chat. How you all doing? Hey, Tom. Tom might be coming in a little while. Everybody knows. Hey, Missy Moon. Hey, Steve. I want to say a big thank you to Steve for modding. I don't really thank him enough when I've done my live streams, but he does this voluntarily. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for doing your modding work, mate. Thank you very much. Afternoon, Matthew. How you doing? Right, so to start off with, I just want to make something clear, right? This is a free speech channel. I allow anybody to come into my comment sections to vent how they're feeling. That's the sort of channel that I want. This isn't an echo chamber. And that goes for me as well. I will criticize absolutely anybody within the movement who I think is acting inappropriately or is doing something detrimental to the movement. I won't hold back. I will hold them to account, whether they're a large channel or a little channel. That's a fundamental thing of this channel. I think too many of us hold back from saying things from fear of pushback or being ostracized because of tribalism within the movement. And I think that's harming the movement. I think we're starting to become too much like the left, where people feel that any criticism of our movement is dividing us. It's not. It's not. Criticism, valid, constructive criticism, without drama, is necessity to keep the movement honest and to help it grow. It will help it grow, because if people see that the movement is honest and it polices itself and it calls out those among it that are, let's say less than honest, people have more trust and faith in it. That's what I believe anyway. That's what I believe as a channel, as a person. It's one of my core beliefs. I don't suffer fools lightly. And just because a person has X amount of subscribers or is popular, shouldn't exclude them from criticism. And of course, it's human nature. Of course, if I choose to be critical of someone that's a big YouTuber that lots of people like, I expect pushback. That's a reality of tribalism. That's a reality of being online. But that doesn't mean I won't shy away from it. And I think that's something people should know coming into this channel. If you're new to this channel, people that have been around on this channel for a long time will know that of me. That if you F around, you will find out, you will be in my crosshairs, you will come on radar, and I will pull that trigger on you if I think it's a necessity. 100%. That's why I don't affiliate with anybody. That's why I don't endorse political parties. I did when I first came back to the channel. I got behind UKIP, but I soon dropped that when I saw the error in party politics. Party politics is divisionary. I think it's harmful to the country, and the sooner we can sign it to the abyss of history, the better. Party politics does nothing but hold this country back. And I'm not the sort of person, if I see a brick wall that needs knocking down, I'm not going to go up to that brick wall and use a panel hammer to remove it. I'm going to take a fucking big sledgehammer and smash the shit out of it to knock it down and to set people free. And that's exactly what needs to happen to party politics. It needs to be knocked down, destroyed, because that's the thing that's holding us back. Tribalistic party politics, divisionary, stopping people from uniting behind the singular cause that we're all united behind, wanting to get the country back. But in the meantime, we're all fighting over what party's best. When if you look at all their policies are identical. All these little right-wing parties, their policies are identical. So why people are fighting over who's the best is beyond me. And it's not over policy. It's over personality. It's who's in charge of the party, which is insane. These people aren't rock stars. They're not movie stars. They will be and should be public servants. And I'm going to reiterate what I always say. You treat political parties or people in parliament or representatives that you want to put in parliament as utility companies. They either deliver what they say or they don't. And if they don't, you switch. You don't stay with them out of loyalty just because you like the person who's in charge of the party. If they don't deliver what they say they're going to deliver, then what good are they? They're no good at all, are they? And we've got a proven track record of that in this country, of getting behind parties and then just not delivering. In recent times, we had Boris Johnson. He promised absolutely everything. We gave him an 80-seat majority. Promised to take back control of our borders. Promised to get immigration and illegal immigration under control. Failed miserably. Did the exact opposite. Every single party we've had that we voted for has had in the manifesto that they want to stop illegal immigration, take back control of our borders. It's one of the main reasons why we voted for Brexit. None of them have done it. And yet people still have faith. And it is faith, because that's what you need in political parties. You need faith, especially when they have no proven track record as of yet, like advanced reform. They have no track record of being in government. So we don't know what they would be like in government. So you have to have faith in them and trust in them. And that's a big ask of people in this country. The people that have been let down time after time after time, you're now asking them to have faith in yet another political party. You have to understand why people have no faith. Faith has been lost. That faith needs to be renewed. And I haven't seen any signs of these parties restoring that faith. They're full of hot air. They can say a lot of things, but their actions speak louder than words. That's what I think on that. If a company does not deliver what they promise, we do not pay them. Why is politics different? That's a very good point. My point exactly. Why would you keep going back to a company that doesn't deliver the things that you want to deliver? Doesn't make any sense. Out of loyalty? Why would you have loyalty for people that constantly fail you and lie to you? Why would you have loyalty to those people? It's insanity. It's like a programmed response. It's like programmed that was why? Why are you loyal to these people? They've shown you no loyalty. What does it say about politics when politicians can go from party to party? Surely their beliefs would keep them there to one. They are malleable. Well, that's the point, right? How can somebody from the Conservative Party cross the floor to the Labour Party and vice versa, when those two parties are supposed to have political beliefs that are polar opposite? It shouldn't be able to happen, should it? That's the magpie. One just flew past the window. Have to salute it. Don't need bad luck. Yeah, Tom makes a good point. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Tom's great typing, including. Yeah, right. Let's have a look at this. Let's take a look at some stuff. So I want to dive deeper into the incident that happened the other day. Do you remember the gentleman with the motorbike helmet? Oh, I'll just have one more comment. So the voting system needs to change too. The whole thing needs to be raised to the ground. That's what I've been saying. I've said that in my morning walk videos for a long time. The system isn't fit for purpose. Yeah, a lot of people have lost faith in the system. That's the point. I recently watched Trig with Robert Jenrick, and all he did was say if and maybes, absolute BS. It's incredibly condescending and arrogant. They've got no intentions of implementing those things. That's why. Look at Robert Jenrick, right? We're looking at a person who facilitated hotels for all the illegal immigrants, and now we're supposed to believe he's somehow anti-immigrant. He joined the Reform Party to save his neck. The thing is, if you looked closely at what was going on, what happened? What happened with the Conservative Party? All of a sudden, Kemi Badenoch, her popularity rose a little bit. And so any chances of Robert Jenrick taking over the Conservative Party were scuppered. So what did he do? He jumped ship to the Reform Party to save his neck. That's what he did. This is what they do. They don't have the best interests of our country at heart, none of them. It shouldn't happen, but it always has. Perhaps Mandelson might join Reform. That I wouldn't put it that past him. Don't forget to make sure you're all on live chat and top chat. And by the way, sub and like. Thank you, Steve. They all have a name. Wants a lordship, yeah. Right, let's have a look at this this story from the other day. I want to show it again because many of you might not have seen it. So I'll show it again. And it's not just me that's found fault with this. Ant Middleton pointed it out as well. I think there's just something not quite right about it. I'm going to show you this again. Right, so this is police swoop in and snatch a lefty agitator at today's protest in Braintree. This is the most effectively I've seen the UK. The thing is, I don't think he's a agitator. I think he's a police asset. I think he's a police plant who was there. He had a milkshake. I think he was going to throw that milkshake at somebody prominent in order to kick things off so arrests could be made. That's my theory. But watch this.
Yes, it is. He's gone, everyone. He's gone.
Right, the issue I have with this, I have to keep looking at it, is no other police officer approached him. No other police officers approached him, asked him what his intentions were. It was only when protest goers started to go up to him and ask him questions. He didn't respond to them, by the way. People were asking him why he was stood there. didn't respond. There's something about it that just doesn't ring true. Just doesn't. Just reading the chat. Sorry, guys, for reading the chat a bit. Yeah, right. Making sure nobody's commenting about this. So, what your guys, what do you think about this? Right. Thumbs up if you think he's a police plant and they just came along to remove an asset from the protest because he got rumbled too early. Because that's what it looks like to me. And what it looks like is that they've had him there and they needed to get him out of there quick. So not to break his cover and to let people know that he was actually a police plant, that they came up there and they made it like they were arresting him. They didn't read him his rights. They just snatched him in the van, and it looked like he was if you were stood on the pavement just actively minding your own business and a police van pulls up and several police officers jump out for no reason and try and grab you, wouldn't you fight back? Wouldn't you put up some kind of resistance and say, what are you doing? Why are you dragging me in here? Nothing. Didn't speak, just got in the van. It just looked suspect. And there's more to the story. So we'll go back to it. I'll play it one more time, just to show people what actually happened.
Good enough? Yes, it is. He's gone, everyone. He's gone.
Boys,
They've got him. Well done. Well done. That's why.
And he dropped his soya milk.
So there's questions you've got to ask. Why didn't police officers approach him and ask him what he was doing? Because people had concerns. He had a motorbike helmet on and obviously no motorbike. Instant red flag. Also, why put him in a normal troop carrier van and not one with a cage in the back? Right, so this is another point, right? He's got a motorbike helmet on, which could be classed as a weapon, because if he wanted to, he could headbutt any one of those officers with that helmet on, and it would hurt. So why haven't they restrained him and waited for, like this guy's saying here, for a transport van, got him in the back of a van, or taken the helmet off him? Why haven't they taken the helmet off him before he's got in the van? Restrain him, take the helmet off. Something just doesn't ring true about that. You're putting your officers at risk by having somebody with a helmet on going to the back of the van that could quite easily headbutt somebody and do some damage. Something doesn't ring true about that. Anyway, right. This is what I want to look at, because we get a good look at the guy in a minute. This is him. Look, right. So this is him. It's a shame we can't see his shoes, because that would be very, very telling. Because look at that, he's got glasses on, right? Under the helmet, he's actually got shades on. No motorbike, anything like around there. He's got the gloves on, he's got the milkshake. Obviously, he's got no intentions of drinking that milkshake with that helmet on like that, has he? So that is intended to be thrown at somebody. He's covered his eyes up because, believe it or not, even with a motorbike helmet on, you can easily identify somebody. You identify somebody via their eyes. As humans, that's what we do. That's why if you're going to go and do citizen journalism and you're just wearing a mask over your mouth, probably not effective, because you can still tell who the person is under the mask. Wear shades, wear a cap. But this guy is all kitted up. He's all kitted up to do something. That's highly suspicious. You've got a milkshake with a straw, but you've got a helmet on. You're not intending to drink that milkshake, are you? And as this person says here, the rebellious cockney, that's exactly what I believe happened. I asked a female officer why they were letting him stand, staring face covered. She said she wouldn't do anything because he was breaking no law. That's not that's not what they do to patriots, is it? That they walk up to patriots and just ask them what their intentions are? We've seen that down in London. Surely a little bit of investigation, just a friendly chat and saying, "All right, mate, what are you doing? You know, you all right? Can we help you?" that sort of thing. Not necessarily accused him of anything, but trying to ascertain his reason for being there. But they didn't do that. Anyway, she said she wouldn't do anything because he was breaking no law. Some men, this is why they got him in the van and got him out of the situation. This is why I believe they did it. Some men asked him why he was just standing there. Minutes later, he's off in a van. Now, for me, he's probably got some kind of radio mic in there, and he's in contact with probably a police unit. There you go. Look, under that visor are recording cameras with facial recognition tech reporting to real time in an anonymous van full of agents around the corner. Or have I been watching too much Mission Impossible? I think it's spot on. Could be right. Could be right. It's not beyond imagination, that is it. He was kidnapped by the police and never got to drink his smoothie. Through his helmet. Rough justice. Yeah. He's filming. There you go. Some people are saying that's a police helmet. Definitely undercover stars he planted to stoke tensions. His job was to throw that milkshake at somebody prominent to try and kick things off. 100%, that's why he's there. %, he's an undercover asset. I've got no doubts in my mind that's why he's there. He's definitely a glow in the dark, one of the smoothest attractions I've seen. Anyone at a protest with masks, if source, so people need to be aware of court plants. Yeah, anybody with a mask or anything like that, be aware of them, especially when they try to encourage the crowd to do things they wouldn't normally do. But that's extremely suspicious to me. Remember that tall Antifa guy in South Manchester Hotel who broke a Patriots camera and was arrested? But while he was searched, he stood in an at ease posture and then folded his arms. Right, do you remember my footage from Sheffield where there was that masked up Antifa guy just stood around the corner? He looked like a police officer to me as well. Yeah, he had a bottle. And it looked like he was ready to throw it. It was just out of, the police were paying no attention to it, which is what drew my attention. It's like somebody masked up, stood right next to a kettled protest with a bottle that obviously isn't drinking it, just hiding around the corner. Is suspect. I even went up to him. There's footage on my channel of it. In fact, you know what? Let's try and bring that up. I'll try and find that and bring that up. And I'll show you what I mean. Because it happens all over. It really does. Stop sharing that. And we'll bring you up. We'll have a look at some of the comments first. I'll go and look for it. Yes, I'm going to get into that in a bit. It starts today. The Great British Strike starts today. Anybody wanted to take part, you know what to do. Just go to the Great British Strike on X and it'll give you full instructions about what to do. I think it's no work, using cash only, and that sort of thing. But go on their website and go and check it out. Any biker will tell you that you do not keep your visor down if you don't want to fog up. Yeah. Yes, I remember him too. And because you spoke to him, he was in an effective bust. Yeah. This is just me seeing this by the stance of the shape of his shoulders. Anybody looks, it looks like a female. Okay. They do plant agitators in the crowd. Look back to last year, the protest where Tommy was arrested. A tall bearded guy giving hand signals to the cops. Yeah. Just try and get that up. I'll try and look for it. Right, what I'll do is I'll drop the link in the chat in a bit because we want to talk about the Great British Strike. I want to see if Tom wants to come and talk about that because that's something we both actually pushed. So I'm sorry you'll have to talk amongst yourselves while I try and find it. I'll try and keep talking. But yeah, go have a look for it on my channel. Should have had this ready, really. Probably going to take me some time to find this, actually. We'll find it. So we can... Can't believe how many videos I've actually done. Well, this is going to be interesting. No, we're not that far away from it, I don't think. So, don't know if I actually made a short about it, actually. I don't think I did. No, I don't think I did. No, it's in my live stream. Sorry about that. I might have to make a little video on that, do a clip of it and put it up. Just can't find it. I don't think it's on there. So, no, I don't think it's on there. I thought I made a video about it. No, it's not on there. Right, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I think a lot of people have said this about the Great British Strike. It's done at the wrong time of year. This should have been a summer event, not a post-winter event, really. Yeah, come on in, Tom. Do you want to come in, mate? Yeah. Tom says he's got some questions. Yeah, I'm going to have to find that out and try and make a video out of that. Right. I'll invite Tom in. And this is open to anybody, by the way. Anybody can come in. It's not just for Tom. If you want to come in and have a chat, you're quite welcome to do so. We had 2 people come in the other day and have a chat. Capricorn, she came in. She was a first timer. She was a bit nervous at first, but she did it. Hats off to her. All power to her for doing that. We're not going to shout at you. We're not going to... If we disagree amicably, and it will be a debate. It will be a civil discussion. That's how we like to keep things. There's no point having a shouting match because that solves absolutely nothing. Right, drop the link in there. Tom, you can come in if you want to, mate. I want to talk to Tom first, though. But it is open to anybody to come in. I'll sporadically drop the link in the chat, so watch out for it. So if you want to come in, Tom, you can do, mate. So I think if there's anything else I want to talk, sure, there's other stuff I want to talk about. I'll bring you in a minute, mate. I'm just going to have a look and see if there's any stories that I need to talk about. I know there's quite a few. Need to go through them. I'll definitely want to talk about those 2. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's something to talk about. Right. I'll bring you in, Tom.
All right,
mate,
how you doing? Listen, sorry, I wasn't trying to muscle my way in with that question. It's just when you said you couldn't find the Great British Strike thing, I know what that's like. And I thought, while I've got all these charged questions, and it might just help you while you try and find it or whatever, yeah. But I was frantically writing when you were talking earlier on, not because I had a load of like opinions against you, but there was some random thoughts that came up at me, and I wondered if you would mind if I throw some of them your way and your audiences way and see what see what you thought.
Yeah, I just want to answer this question, right? So about the strike,
yeah, sure.
Right? So this is a common question. I just want to answer it. People are frightened of losing jobs or life at work being made difficult. A cash-only month might work better. Well, the thing is, Captain, and I don't want to be critical of it, but this is an important point to make. Eventually, people are going to lose their jobs because Starmer's in power. That's going to happen anyway. So what's better to happen? To have a few people upset with you at work, or to lose your job completely and the country go down the shitter, along with all your life savings and everything that you've worked for? I'm not having a go at you. I know you just bring up the point that that's what people are scared of. I'm just having a go at the people who say that. The people who say, I'm not doing it because I might lose my job. I might do this. You're going to lose that anyway, eventually, with Starmer in charge. Yeah, go on then, Tom.
All right, buddy. Right, so I suppose I'll do the obvious one first. So you've got training and stuff, and that's why I suppose it's why it's best to ask you these things. The plants that I've ever seen, we've caught one with a wire, but a lot of them seem like any one of us. The only difference is they are too confident, too loud for a new face. And I suppose the first question before I ask any others is: would the police be as obvious as that guy stood there with the milkshake, the crash arm, and the glasses? And I'm not saying it wouldn't be. It's a genuine question. Would they?
Right. The thing is, right, you saw, the people in the crowd, they thought that was the police doing their job. So they were oblivious to it. They didn't have a clue that that might be a police plant. Whereas people like
Right.
me, that's the thing we would look out for. We'd think there's something very suspicious about that guy. When you're walking down downtown Iraq, that's the sort of person you're looking out for. The person
Right.
that's not doing anything,
Right.
that's out of place and just looks weird. I mean, look at what was carrying. Had a milkshake with a helmet on, with no way to actually drink the milkshake. That's a red flag.
Yeah.
Red
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah.
Why have you got that? What are you going to do with that? That's the questions you're asking yourself.
Like things we saw in Southampton.
Yeah, Ant Middleton said the same thing. He came up straight afterwards and said, that looks dodgy. That was like a snatch of an asset off a street to make it look like an arrest. And it did.
Right.
So to
Right.
answer your question, yeah, to untrained eyes, it just looks like the police doing their job. But to people like me, I find it suspicious. It's like, no, that's suspicious. That's not the police doing their job. That's them picking one of their assets up, a police plant agitator. And his intention, mate, was to throw that milkshake at somebody prominent in that crowd to start a riot. That's what his intention was, at 100%.
Okay. Second thing was you mentioned the other day, because you mentioned this the other day, and it's quite a short clip, and you said you thought there was a longer clip. Now, knowing you would have searched for that by now, and I wondered if that longer clip exists, because the reason I say it is because two reasons. One, any short clip is suspicious when it doesn't have all the footage, and also these days, although that doesn't look anything like AI, anything that's like 20, 30 seconds, you've got to be very careful of.
Right. So the things I looked out for was people who were there verifying that
Right.
happened.
Okay.
And that's what I just did. That person who was there said several people asked him what he was doing there. So that's how I knew. That's how
Was
I verified.
was there a longer video then? Do you think what I'm guessing? What I'm asking is, do you think the guy making the video was in on it?
No, I don't. I don't think he
No.
was. I think it was an auditor that just didn't understand it. He didn't have my training, so he didn't see it through my sort of like lens, how I would look at it. So
Right.
he saw it as just police coming up and taking somebody off the street who was an agitator. Whereas I would be asking questions like, why haven't you read him his rights? Why haven't you held him? Why haven't you taken his helmet off? Because that's an offensive weapon. He could headbutt you with it. Why haven't you taken it off him? And like somebody brought up in the chat, why hasn't he been isolated in the back of a van in a holding cell in the back of the van? A lot of that just doesn't matter. Why did they chuck the milkshake away when he got in the van? Why didn't he take the milkshake with him if he intended to drink it? Why didn't a police officer take the milkshake off him?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what I will say, my actual opinion of it is, and this is something I wrote right near the beginning, but please don't take this as a jab. It was what I thought was that you were overanalyzing, because I thought you'd nailed it. I thought you'd nailed it perfect. I thought everything about it looked fake. I thought everything about it looked staged, and I thought you nailed it perfectly, like without having to. Not having to. You do need to explain it because you're making a video. What I mean is, you got it. I don't think you'd even need to doubt anything that you've said. I thought you'd nailed it. I thought, yeah, it looks so. There's so many things you could pick apart about. It's so staged. It's so obvious, isn't it? Isn't it on some level?
I think to us it's obvious because we've just got suspicious minds anyway. Anything like that will stand out and look suspicious to us. But to the ordinary, you saw it yourself. The auditors, and you listen to the people in the conversation around it. They all thought the police were doing their job.
Yeah,
like, no, you don't see the ulterior motive behind that. And having been to protests, and you've been to protests, I know they have police plants. I know they have undercover officers walking around in the protests and stuff, and I can spot them. because they walk a certain way, they carry themselves a certain way. And it's usually military. It's usually people from the military they use as undercover because they're used to doing that sort of thing. But you can spot them. You can spot the way they carry themselves, the way they move, and that sort of thing.
And that's it for the police thing. Yeah, I think the other thing is right at the beginning, I think it was was it Capricorn? Both agreed you'd like to burn it all down, and it needs to be burned down. Sorry, that was the proper, and I'm on board. But what we've got to be careful of when we say and think things like that is, it may be true, but I think most of us still believe in a certain sense of what existed, not necessarily the party politics, and the left want exactly the same thing, just for different means.
Oh yeah.
So we got to be real careful not to play into their book.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean I disagree with you.
Yeah, the difference between us and them is, though, Tom, is we want to destroy it and rebuild it better.
Yes. Yeah.
They just want to destroy it. They just want to destroy it and just revel in the ashes. That's all they want to do.
Agreed. Oh yeah, totally different agendas. But yeah, it sometimes it worries me because they will go the extra mile.
It's good that you brought it up because it needs to be clarified. I didn't clarify that in the video this morning. I did say we need to knock it down and rebuild it from its foundations up. That's the fundamental difference between us and them. They just want to knock it down and replace it with communism. That's all they want to do.
I tell you why I brought it up. To be honest with you, it's one of their big slogans. When I infiltrated that Marxist festival, and that burn it all down is their big thing. Do you know what I mean? And you hear them say it. So I just wanted to make people clear that I know that's not what your intention was, but
100% no. And with me, when I say we need to knock something down, I always try and give solutions to how we can rebuild it and make it better.
Absolutely.
And it's like, I think we agree on this, that we need to do away with party politics, and we need to have 650 independent MPs in Parliament that are just the only thing they share in common is that they want to protect the country and our culture and our traditions. That's the only thing they share in common, really.
People will make all kinds of arguments against that, like deadlocks and all this other. They'll come up with all kinds of things, but it could be no worse than it is now, and it's probability-wise, it would be better.
You know what, Tom, right? I would rather things get delayed and it be done properly, and democratically, rather than rush into it. Yeah,
quality over quantity.
Yeah,
agree. Yeah, totally. So the strike. So we're in February, aren't we?
Yeah, it's the first day of the strike today, and I'll be honest with you.
It's what? It's what? The first day of it?
It's the first day of it today, and I've not seen
it's already it's already a failure then.
Yeah.
It's already a failure. It's already failed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not saying that disrespectfully to the person that's doing it. But wow, I didn't even know it was today.
The best time to have done this strike would have been the end of summer, after all the implementations of Rachel from Accounts' new legislation came into effect that is starting to affect people, because people might have got behind it a little bit, or maybe even next year.
Do you know what I think as well? Yeah. Because that's the other thing I thought maybe the panic that we had infected their game plan, because they were gaining momentum, but they needed a lot more time.
But I'm scared now, Tom. I'm scared. I'm scared about what the outcome is, because if people fail to get behind this, and this would be our last opportunity to do something peaceful to remove Keir Starmer from power. People are waiting around. People are waiting around.
Sorry.
People are waiting around for elections for something to happen, and it's not going to happen. And like somebody said in the chat today, everybody's waiting around for everybody else to step up to the mark and do something.
Yes. The most daring thing people do these days is not pay their TV license. It's not enough.
No, it's not going far enough at all. They have to get behind something. And I blame party politics for it. And then going back to that again, I blame party politics for it because it's a distraction. It's
And
distracting
media,
them.
and media, and
Yeah.
media, all media.
It's distracting them away from what really needs to be done. We need to be uniting against the state. That's the enemy.
Yeah.
And you brought it up the other day, Tom. We've got so many battles going on at the minute that we're not winning any of them. You know, we need to focus on just one battle, which is get rid of Starmer. You get rid of Starmer, all those little battles you're fighting suddenly go away.
There's only one battle I could say that we won, and I say we've. You know, in fairness, you've got to give credit to the man, and that was with Tommy Robinson and the at least getting the information about the grooming gangs out there. But beyond that, for the longest time, I've been told by people good people who really believe in stuff that we won this or we won that. But when you step back and look at it, we won nothing ever. In fact, like I tried to say the other day, if we'd won anything, then we wouldn't have kept consistently losing ground like this.
I want to answer this question, Mike, because the captain brought something up. Are you two taking part in the strike? Well, we've been promoting it. We've been trying to push this for months. So, yeah, we are taking part in it.
Yeah.
We're pushing this for months, but it's not going to get any traction. Won't get any traction.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's why I was so pissed off to find out it started today. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's our last ditched attempt to do something. I mean, this was direct action as well. People piss and moan about the way the country is, but they're not prepared to take the action necessary to change it. And that's the frustrating thing, because they're scared of losing something and they don't realize they've already lost so much. They've lost their freedoms. And oh no, I can't. I've got to go down to Tesco to get me the weekly shop and that sort of thing. It's only 1 week, Tom. We're only asking them to do this for 1 week.
Yeah.
And nothing.
Yeah.
Zero. Zilch.
Yeah. It's whether it's apathy, whether it's head in the sand, whatever the reason, I don't care anymore, really. It's what I was sort of saying to you while back then, and I think you sort of agreed and said other things. And that is that whether there's civil war or not, there's not enough people in this country who will fight. They won't even not do something.
Tom, right? I bet me and you, we've lost count of how many comments have we had in our video sections where they say, "You're not doing enough. You're not doing. All you do is walk around in a field." It's like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing to affect change this country?
Right.
And it's right. It's like what Missy Moon's saying here: apathy and ignorance is rife, but intimidation is real. Yeah.
Do you know something as well? You say that, Missy Moon, right? And it reminds me, ding, memory. My first ever mod was more than a mod. You know, they become your friend. It's, it happens. And I remember he always used to say in the chat, and that was nearly 8 years ago now, the biggest problem in this country is apathy. It's paralyzed people. And to this day, you see it. So I agree.
Right, I want to bring something up because this kind of leads into what I've been talking about. It might not seem connected, but it is. Right, this is what happens when you let government go too far with everything, where you give them no pushback, where they don't feel the people anymore. And it's probably going to seem silly. It might seem trivial, but watch this. This is probably going to shock you, make you laugh, Tom. Because when I saw it, it was like, you've got to be kidding me. You know when we said the other day in the live stream, every day gets a little bit weirder. You think surely we can't go any further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
this can't get any worse. And then the next day comes and something else worse happens.
Yeah, yeah.
This is in Sheffield. This is in Sheffield near me.
Okay.
Right, get ready. Right, so Sheffield Council decided that you've got to pay to put your rubbish in bins.
What?
New bins in Sheffield.
Oh, fuck off.
You pay to put rubbish in. What are you paying council tax for if you have to pay again to dispose of rubbish?
That can't be right.
I kid you not. You have to pay to put rubbish in bins.
Oh, my God.
So
oh, my God.
What do you think is going to happen to people in the town centre now what do you think is going to happen?
You already know that place is going to look like shit in no time.
You can't make this up. You can't make it up, mate.
What the? I can't believe I can't believe that's real. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, 100% real, mate. We'll watch it again. Yeah, people paying to put rubbish in the bin now.
Oh, I can't wait for your comment section. Jesus wept.
It's like,
These new bins in Sheffield.
right,
These new bins in
Sheffield.
Sheffield. These new bins in Sheffield. You have to pay by card to put your stuff in the bin. Look, this one's plastic baggage, and you got to tap your card to pay. To shop your bin, please use nearby public bins for general litter. So if you want to, oh look, general waste. If you want to, what's it called, recycle, tap your card, don't be tired.
No.
Import £400, and if you don't, £400 fine. But you got to pay. Please place general waste in the correct container. If you leave.
This is just another way for councils to generate revenue, isn't it?
We need to find out if that's definitely council owned.
It is. It is. This
Definitely.
is Sheffield Council.
If any
Oh
waste
my
recycled on
God.
the floor, this will be treated as flat, and then you may receive £400 fine. How bad's that?
Yeah, it's a £400. It's a £400 fine if you don't do it.
Oh
And what
my
they-
God.
And what they're going to have, Tom, they're going to have all these litter enforcer agents around, private companies, just milking you for 400 quid because you've dropped some litter on the floor. Because you've got to pay to use.
Oh my God. Why? Right. Does anybody doubt now that dystopia is not something that's happening in the future, that it's right now? This is 1984. Actually, do you know another film that demonstrates this kind of thing really well? And I used to hate the film, and now I actually appreciate it. It's Demolition Man.
Yeah. That's Steve. I thought it was bad enough when my own council started charging for people driving to the waste dumps. So I guess what happened is fly tipping. Yeah, they're not stopping anything. That it'll just end up like an absolute shit tip, won't it?
Go back 50 years.
I think there's another story I want to cover as well down here somewhere. Oh yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
Get ready for this, right? So you know all these lefty stand up to racism people who live out in the countryside, who are lording it over and saying, "Oh, refugees are welcome here," and all this rubbish.
Yeah.
Well, they're about to get a very rude awakening, Tom. Very rude awakening, because our government's decided that the countryside's not diverse enough. So how do you think they're going to solve the diversity in the countryside? They're going to start dumping illegal immigrants into the countryside, aren't they? They're going to start dumping migrants in the countryside.
Speaking of someone who is in the countryside.
Oh yeah, watch this. Watch this in a minute.
Sorry, go on.
On screen. This is another news story. This is how crazy our country is, mate. Right, here we go. Britain's countryside to be made less white on the government's nationwide diversity plans. That's out and out racism. Out and out racism.
You need to share that article with me, mate.
That's insane.
I really don't know what to say to that one. Because what can I say?
Wait until Tarquin and Penny have a massive migrant camp on their doorstep. Do you think they'll be going to protest then, saying refugees are welcome here?
Oh no, this is the thing.
When they've got Abdullah camping out in the back garden because he doesn't like the migrant camp anymore.
And when you see them like flood into an area like mine so quick, I think the only reason I'm not telling you now that things have got even worse where I am is because someone in the council, I don't know this for a fact, it's impossible to prove because I've tried to figure out, and obviously I don't want to drop anyone in this shit, but someone in the council, someone somewhere is sabotaging the Muslims here. I told you they were building over sites. Yeah, building over sites the Muslims were using. But more than that, there was a ferry that I did in the documentary where you get across the river where I am in 12 minutes as opposed to having to go all the way around it. this was a route they were sending the migrants on. That route is suddenly unavailable, and it won't be for a couple of years due to some problems with money. There's been loads of stuff, and I think whatever that barrier is happening there is the only thing between, because of the amount they were trying to send over and what for. It's the only thing standing between my area and the end now.
I don't know where this ends, Tom. I don't know what the end game is with all of this. Do you? It seems like every move the government seems to make is pushing us towards civil unrest, isn't it? Every single move.
People like to say, sorry.
Go on, mate.
No, I was just saying, people like to say it's for certain different things, and all of those things make sense, but it feels like more. It's like, I don't know, not one explanation. All these explanations make sense. In which case, which one is it? Do you know what I mean? What's the actual reason they're doing it? Because you can say cheaper labor force, you can say money, you can say to erase the white race. Which one's right?
Let's just say what it is, right? This is to destabilize every aspect of society wherever it is, because wherever these people go, high crime rates follow and destabilize the local. Normally, local safe neighborhoods are no longer safe wherever these people go. That's just fact. We can look at the stats and we can see that wherever these people are put, all of a sudden, crime starts to rise. And it's no coincidence, mate. It really isn't.
And it's my problem as well that I'm looking for one truth rather than multiple.
Yeah. Human devaluation equals control and depopulation. Yeah. What it is, I think Asmagol explained this best the other day. I think I've mentioned this in a live stream before. You've got to understand what they're doing. They realise that the game is up with the native populations in the country. They know that the native populations have rumbled their political class. They know what the game is. So now they've got to import a new voter base that doesn't necessarily know what they're up to replace the natives so they remain in power. That's what they're doing. And if they can destabilise society in the process, that's what they're going to do. It's their ultimate goal.
Vin, that's what I was going to say, actually. The Japanese. I was watching this thing about the Japanese, quite detailed. I won't go into the details, but it was showing how the Japanese, as a result, partly of the what's the word, masculation of men after World War II, so that, you know, there's partly American propaganda as well to calm them down, because they had obviously such an extreme, the kamikaze, all that kind of stuff. It's very masculine culture, samurai. So they kind of made them woke, if you want to call it that. And if you look at the Japanese man now, he is almost androgynous in nature, agreeable, reliable, not masculine at all. And as a result, the average Japanese man hasn't had sex till he's over 30. This massive society of people have stopped having children. It's a society ready to collapse. I
want to cover this story, right? Because we think Starmer and the Labour Party is really bad, don't we? We think they're the apex of everything that can go wrong in this country. But my concern is that Advanced and Reform are just going to split the vote, and they're going to allow something even worse. At the next election, right, the Labour vote is going to completely collapse like the Conservatives did. They're going to be a thing of the past. You're not going to have the Conservative Party anymore. You're not going to have the Labour Party anymore. All hope in them is going to be lost. They're going to go. And that's why they're trying to do things now. Right? Don't worry, Tom, I'm leading into something. Don't worry, mate, I'm leading into something here.
No,
right?
that's all right, sorry.
Yeah, right. So my concern is that we have advanced and reform that get on, say they get 50% of the vote each, but then split it and allow something else to pop in because they're more popular, right? We know that the Islamists have taken over the Green Party. The Green Party is no longer about environmental issues anymore. It's all about Islamic, like Labour is. Labour is in a way now. It's Islamic takeover. You look at certain Labour councils around the country; they're all Islamifized. They're just solely about the Islamification of those areas. That's it. They're colonies. They're basically colonies within this country. And my concern is that we get some kind of Green Party alliance with some other batshit crazy party, and that would be the end. I want to show you. I want to play this video from Zach Polanski. You know who that guy is, don't you? He's a leader of the Green Party. And if this lunatic ever gets in power, which could be a possibility, let's not rule this out because he's a lunatic. Just watch what he's going to say. This is amazing. These are the sort of people we have in politics. Right, I'm just going to pause that. I hate that autoplay feature when it comes on.
With more salience comes more scrutiny, and questions have been asked about where you actually stand on NATO and Ukraine. Now, if you were to abolish NATO as you wish,
I apologise for the volume, by the way. It's just that quiet anyway. I can't do anything about
All right,
that.
you can hear it, mate. You can hear it.
Well, first of all, let's start with what the actual policy is. So the policy is to reform NATO from within. And what I'm arguing for, and by the way...
That's not what you think.
It is what I think. General Richard Sheriff was on TV this week, where has been reporting that he thinks we need a gap analysis of what is happening around the world in terms of weapons that we need to invest in and defence. What I'm arguing for is an alternative alliance with countries based in Europe. It's almost like you need to create a union of European countries, plus Brazil, Mexico, and global South countries that recognise we cannot rely on Donald Trump. He is not a reliable ally. He is unpredictable.
Sorry, can I just be clear then? So,
right, so I'm going to stop it there, right? Donald Trump's not a reliable ally. He's not a reliable ally to the far-left Marxists. He is a reliable ally to countries like us that are actually, of the same values. The thing is, Zach Polanski doesn't have the same values as the majority of people in this country. He doesn't. He's a Marxist, socialist nut job. That's what he says. And this is what I'm scared of, that he gets into power and we have that nut job who's about 1,000 times worse. He's like Starmer on steroids, that guy. You get him in power, the country's nosediving within a week. I guarantee it. There'll be civil unrest in a week. Because, that guy in America, the New York mayor, who's done all these batshit crazy things, he's like that. He's basically just become a communist. He's starting to say to people that, we're going to make private ownership of property a thing of the past. He's that sort of person. So your homes would be under threat under this guy. There'd be no private ownership of homes. It's scary. Right, I'll show you. We'll keep playing it.
Your idea of reforming NATO from within is abolishing it and replacing it with something else.
Well, first of all, let's talk about if it's possible to reform NATO from within. I don't think it's possible because the United States, 86% of our arms imports come from the United States.
You just said your policy was to reform NATO from within. Now you're saying you don't think it is possible to do it.
Look how he's flip-flopping about when he's questioned. Look how he's flip-flopping about when he's questioned. And this guy's got a real good chance of becoming the Prime Minister if Advanced and Reform F up and the Labour vote collapses and the Muslims start to block vote, which they are doing. We've got a real issue of this guy getting to power. And don't think it can't happen because it's happened in mainland Europe. The alliance of the left. This is something that people aren't picking up on yet. They're too busy focused on who's best on the right wing and not thinking about what would happen if they split the vote.
Absolutely.
What nightmare situation we're going to be in if that happens.
Absolutely.
I'll carry on and then I'll let it play out.
I think we can do more than one thing at once. So you can have step 1 and then step 2 and step 3. So let me outline that for you. Step 1, which is what has been trying to happen and clearly is not working, is to work with the United States. But we have a dangerous, unpredictable man who considers Vladimir Putin his friend, but brings Zelensky into the White House and shames him in front of the world.
Is there something you wanted to say there, Tom?
Oh, sorry. Well, other than that, he's a wanker. I just no, I wasn't shaking my head for a point. I just his Donald Trump's dangerous. Donald Trump's this. Donald Trump's that. Have they not? I'm sorry. That narrative is not just so transparent and everything else, but it's also been so dangerous because it's blocked Donald Trump from doing so many important fucking things, and he's proven he's no better than Starmer, as well as not as good as Starmer in as much as his presentation. He's just another one.
This is the danger, though, mate. These are the lunatics that we could let in if we're not careful.
But I think this is the bit I did want to tell you is that, and this is what does scare me. You're right about. I don't even know if it's about whether it's splitting the vote or whatever on our side. But you're right about not looking at the other side, because the Green Party is a name that people sort of smirk at when they think of politics in terms of actually getting real power. As you know, I've spent a day this week seeing a few medical professionals, and my podcast instincts always kick in. They're about 30-ish, different backgrounds, and they were all really nice people. And I started bringing up the world. How did they see it? Didn't let my political views out. And they didn't say they were socialists, although I don't know what would happen if I pushed them on it. They didn't seem politically charged. I had a lot in common with them, but they were only disappointed in the Labour Party because it wasn't doing the things they want, and they were going straight to the Green Party, all of them. And this is a trend I'm seeing online as well. I think there's an actual real danger of the Green Party being a threat if the right isn't.
Yeah, I mean, well, they are a threat because they're growing in popularity. Labour voters are actually flocking to the Green Party because they don't they like Starmer's flavour of communism. So
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So if the Labour vote does collapse, it'll go to him. It's not going to come to the right because they'll never vote for anything right wing.
Yeah,
it'll go to him.
Totally. These people, by the way, I'm sure some of them. So one of them was a girl of color, right? But I guarantee you, she wasn't racist, and she knew I wasn't. So, and she's still willing to vote for a party like that. You know?
Yeah.
So
carry on.
That's where that's it. That's where the danger is. You know.
But people don't see it because they're too busy arguing on the right. I mean, look at how many little parties we've actually got, and they've all got the same policies, Tom. Every single one of them has got the same policies. The only thing different about them is the idiot in charge with the ego. That's the only thing that's different about them. And people are voting for the idiot with the ego, not for the policies. All we need is one united, huge right-wing party. And I'm not talking about centre-right politics because that's over. Centre-right politics is over. You need a hard right, and I don't mean, when I say hard right, I don't mean far right, I mean hard right, an actual right-wing party with right-wing policies. And basically, and what I'm talking about is an actual conservative party. That's what I'm talking about. Because that thing we've had for the last few decades isn't a conservative party. Not by a long shot. What's it conserving? Nothing. It's given most of our heritage, most of our rights, most of our traditions away. It's appeased people. That's not a conservative party.
Vin, I'm being invaded. I'm going to have to leave you to it, mate. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect this. Someone's come out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this. I do apologise.
No problem, mate. No problem.
All right. I'll catch you soon. Sorry, everybody.
All right.
Take care.
Anybody else wants to come in.
Thanks for having me on. No
problem, mate. Thanks for having me on. Go subscribe to Tom's channel, by the way. 00 News. I will bring the link up in a bit. If Steve the mod could bring up his link to his channel and put it in the chat. Go subscribe to Tom. He's a great speaker. He does some great videos as well. Right, I'll drop the link in the chat. If anybody else wants to come in and pick up where Tom left off, you can do. If anyone wants to come in for a chat, You're quite welcome to do so. Links in the chat now, so if you want to come in. We'll carry on and play this until somebody comes in, or if anybody comes in.
So whilst a few years ago we voted to reform NATO from within, what I'm saying is it's time to look at step 2. Step 2 is to work with our European neighbours to build greater alliances alongside security and defence, alongside those countries, plus Brazil and Mexico, and countries in the global south, to look at how we stop American imperialism and also conversations about China, and indeed Russia too. And in our own country, step 3 is to look at our own economic sovereignty.
He's an absolute lunatic. That's it for him. He's an absolute lunatic, that man. Crazy. An alliance with Mexico. Mexico, where the country is basically run by cartels, and we're going to put our national security and form an alliance with people like that. He's a maniac. Absolute maniac. What's he going to say next? Oh, let's form an alliance with Colombia. Lunatic. Some of the comments. You never get a real right-wing party. The system won't allow it. Yeah. I'm just putting up as I'm only like offering up suggestions about what could happen. I know it's not going to happen. The system's just not rigged for it. Somebody suggested today that, you know, if I wanted to affect change, maybe I should run as an MP or as a councillor. Somebody with my political viewpoints would never get near power. They wouldn't let me do it. And even if I did, if I managed to get into a local position as a councillor in a local council, I'd be frozen out because of my views. They'd freeze me out. If I got myself into Westminster and actually became an MP, which is very, very unlikely, given my views and stuff like that, what sort of a change could I affect? Rupert Lowe's finding out right now how an independent journalist fares in Parliament. Everything about Parliament and the structure that it's made is designed to keep the status quo. It's designed to freeze out anybody that wants to change the system. That's just a fact. Yeah, Steve, yeah. We need to start going to council meetings. Some council meetings, you're not even allowed to go in anymore. Believe it or not. What that was then. Right, I'm going to drop the link again. Does anybody want to come in for a chat? I'll drop the link again. It's open. You can come in for a chat, have a discussion. I'm opening the floor up now to all your suggestions. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Is there anything you want to raise? Anything that you want me to talk about or bring up and discuss? We can do that. Have a look and see what's happening on X, actually, if there's any stories we can talk about. A lot of people, this is what I was talking about this morning, a lot of it is just this pointless drama between the Denton by-election, between two parties arguing over who should be able to field candidates in the by-election. It's like it's democracy. If you're that against opposition from somebody else being fielded as a candidate in your area, then you don't believe in democracy. I don't get what all the drama's about. It's just divisionary. It's just pointless rubbish again, to me. That's all X has been about lately. It's just been people talking about the Denton by-election, that drama. Well, some days Nigel asked me what my solution was, other than blind obedience to Farage. Steve, a Labour politician, has been arrested after shocking allegations. When does that not happen now though, Craig? How many times have we heard that a Labour MP has been arrested? They're all either on the sexual offenders list, aren't they? A lot of them. Craig, it's to do with the Epstein file release. Bring it, yeah. Vin, a Labour politician, been arrested after shocking. Like, yeah, it's nothing new though. It's nothing new. It's always on the left. Right, guys, I'll drop the link one more time. If nobody wants to come in, I'm going to call it a day. So if you want to come in, have your say, live, now's your opportunity. Actually, Craig, I don't know if you'd be agreed to this. You don't have to show your face on camera. I'd really like for you to come on a live stream sometime and have a chat. We can discuss things, because I think your comments are pretty insightful in the chat. I'd love to have you on sometime. Come in, have a chat. You don't have to show your face on camera. We can have a discussion. I'd love that. It's up to you, though. I like to include everybody. Right, guys. And let's have a look at this. One more comment. Blair, Starmer, Mandelson, Sunak, all implicated in those files. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody really surprised with those names? I'm not surprised at Blair. I'm not surprised at Starmer. He's dodgy. Mandelson, if he wasn't on the list, I'd ask why. Sunak, you know, with everything he's been involved in, doesn't surprise me. All globalists. All of them globalists, by the way. Every single one of them. Hey, Stefan. How you doing, buddy? You just arrived for the closing part of the live stream. I'm sorry about that, mate. You'll have to watch it back. Right. On that note, I'm going to end things, guys. I'm going to call it. Thank you for coming along, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Steve, for moderating the chat. You always do a great job, mate. Thank you for that. I want to thank Tom for coming along. He's disappeared now. He's had to go and take some care of some stuff. But yeah, Tom was it. So thanks for coming along. And I shall see you all in the morning walk video tomorrow. This is Vindicator signing off.